Okay, we're back, and hopefully there's nothing. You know how this works. When you're live and you are far, far apart, crap happens. So, what I was talking about is you had this like, I kind of see it as your like eye-opening, like massive love moment, but you might not be thinking about the same one I'm thinking. When you were in your really dark spot and you were just, somebody walked into the room. Do you remember this story that you told me? You might not remember it.
You're gonna have to keep going. I think I know, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, yeah, we didn't talk about this, so this could be a quick trick question.
Never know.
But I'll just say it. Your little girl walked into the room, and you were just like, you had this. Do you remember this story?
Yeah. So I was watching a documentary on Netflix called "The Invisible War" about military sexual trauma, and that's around the time my daughter started walking, and it's also around the time I really first started realizing somehow, some way, I have to get Greater Veterans going, and I felt at that time, and I feel more so now the longer I go into this, that there's not a veteran voice out there like me, because I'm the one that shouldn't be doing this. I'm not, the Medal of Honor winner, not to bash on him. I'm not the one with the most name clout, name recognition. I'm not the one that has the money or the time to be doing this, but I am the one that's getting it done and finding a way to get up no matter how many times I get knocked down. So,
well, it's your love. Like you said, you are driven by your love, not necessarily by your money or by what you can achieve, or what is that word I'm looking for? The valor that comes with it, the heroism that comes with it. You're just kind of plugging away, trying to save.
that's pretty much it. I don't know, like right now I'm writing my book because I've been asked to by some other veteran authors and some other people that I really look up to. And, obviously with everything happening, there has to be a chapter about COVID and some of the other struggles I've had in between the last time you were up here. And I want it to be right, and I want it to be me. So right now I'm stuck on about page 85, I think is where I'm at. And I'm handwriting it because I want it to go from the brain to the hand to the paper. I feel like it's more natural and organic and authentic that way. So I'm hoping to have that done in the next 6 months, hopefully. But
that's 85. I've like written, but books are hard. Books are hard, and you got to. It's an evolution. You'll keep working on it. I will do. I have total faith that it's going to be exactly what you want it to be, because it always is. So I want to go back. If you can imagine your life, I'm so visual, and today I'm like uber visual. Look, you should have heard me talking when we were waiting for you to come back. I was talking about particles and how I see things in my life. Yeah, it's a very visual day. So
Nice.
Sorry, Nick, that you got me on this kind of mind frame. But if you can imagine your life as a book, looking back, were there times that you can say, oh yeah, that I can totally see myself here today from those experiences or kind of those situations in your past? Or are you like, my past life doesn't even revolve or look anything like why I'm here now?
I'm more in line with the second one. I grew up in a broken home, wrong side of the tracks type upbringing, and having a master's degree, doing the nonprofit, doing all the things I've done since high school, it makes no sense. I mean, like I said, it's driven from my heart. I feel like, I do believe in God, and I feel like, I'm not the most religious person and probably shouldn't be with all my tattoos, but I believe it.
Not to discriminate.
Well, some do, but I would say some of it's divine intervention. I mean, because there are times in my life where I should either died or I should have quit on something, and I just couldn't. I mean, even if I wanted to, I just couldn't. So I have no logical explanation other than I'm too stupid to quit sometimes. I mean,
Well, you also have a really beautiful partner. You have your wife is the sweetest, very supportive. And I want to talk about that because especially the military relationships have the highest divorce rate. It's very, very, very hard to be. It's a very hard lifestyle because it's not normal. Most people can't relate to it. So there's not a really good support system, in place. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Talk about, from your point of view, the importance of your wife and just your relationship with her. Give some clarity to people and some hope maybe to people, because I know it's hard, and there are times when she's probably like, I can't do this,
Yeah.
but you are doing it. So
Well,
talk about that.
well, so we've been married 18 years, and we got engaged after 6 months, and then 9/11 happened. So it's like, being combat arms, being an artillery guy, she goes, okay, you're going some damn where. The question is where. And I said, I don't know. Hopefully we get to go kill some bad guys. And then they call us and they're like, around the same time I found out she was pregnant with our younger son, they're like, hey, you're going to Kosovo. And I'm like, cool, where's that? What's Kosovo? And they're like, it's combat zone. You're going there. You're going on this date. And then she's like, I'm pregnant with our first kid together. And I'm like, holy hell, what the hell? So, there was that going to a combat zone after 9/11, and then find out you're having your first kid, and then you don't know how long the deployment's going to be. We were told 6 months, and we were told a year, then we were told maybe 18 months. And, it was just all the time. And hey, I'm going somewhere. I'm not going to be able to call you for a few days. I'm going on a mission. I can't talk, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we're still doing letters. This webcam stuff we're doing now didn't exist. They had some thing that looked like something out of a Devo video, like it froze every 2 seconds. And we did that one time. We're like, this is stupid. You have to wait in line forever to do this. Let's do a phone call. Let's do letters. And,
Yeah. Was there ever a time that you guys almost didn't make it?
Yeah, there's been a few. After I got my master's degree, when I went into that 2-year period of darkness, I wasn't suicidal, but I was not in a good place. And then we ended up having my daughter, and that kind of pulled me out of it. And that's when I first had the vision for Greater Veterans. I just didn't have a name or any sort of body to it. We were going through some rough patches right then, because it was like, not to get too graphic, but your sex drive's not there when you don't feel adequate as a man, and when you're not working and providing. And then we just lost our first house, because I made some dumb decisions financially, in terms of leaving a job, in terms of, I didn't get injured in the military, I'm not going to go to the VA and file a disability claim, and just stupid, over macho, mid to late 20s dumbass decisions, to put it point blank. And it cost my family. So then now, like, for example, we're trying to buy a house. We got approved for a decent amount of money, but because we've been on this 8-year journey to get there, that's been brutal. Part of it, again, is my fault, because I spend too much on Greater Veterans. We probably could have been there sooner. We're fighting a little bit, but it's not like divorce type fighting. But it's like, all I want's acreage. I'm sick and tired of being in town, and everything with Corona, the way you have to look at houses, only one of you can go in at a time with the realtor, you have to wear a mask, yada, yada, yada. It looks like I'm not going to get property. So then I'm having to readjust all the time what I want and sacrifice, and say, okay, as long as the house has a nice kitchen, nice bathrooms, and she's happy, who the hell cares? I'll sign the paper. And so, it's compromise. So now I just got a text while we were away, by the way, and the house we want to look at today, the buyer lost their job, so we may have a shot at getting that one. So hopefully it works out.
Hey, you don't know. So what I hear out of all of that is that you have learned to compromise. Like, and is that the secret to you guys, or one of the secret things?
Yeah, I mean, we bust each other's chops on a continual basis. I mean, if a random person walked into our conversation, they probably think we hate each other sometimes, but it's just the way we communicate. I mean, everyone's different. It's not like, You know, we don't do the never go to bed angry thing. I mean, we try not to. We don't do the let's not argue in front of the kids. I mean, we should probably, but you know, I mean, it's not our style. So I mean, you know, what works for us won't work for everyone. But I mean, life's full of potholes. I see it like a street. You know, it's like, you know, I tell people you don't know what tomorrow holds, so be real today. And you know, like I tell the kids, and you've heard me say it before, but leave a legacy worth remembering, because it all comes down to the man or the woman in the mirror. If you can't look in that mirror and like who you are, then what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's working. And I love that. That is like a huge takeaway today, is that, you know, you're like, hey, it might not be perfect. It might not be the right thing, but it works for us. And it's obviously worked for you because you have a huge track record with your wife. You have a huge track record in your life of your personal accomplishments. So, hey, lead with love, learn to compromise, and don't try to fit your relationship in life into a box that doesn't work for you.
Well, and I mean, that's it. I mean, you know, you've been married before and you know how it is. This is still my first marriage. And
Let's keep it that way, because the
yeah,
grass
I
is
mean,
not always greener. I mean, I'm thick, so it took me a bunch of them to get there. But you're a
well,
little smarter than me.
I was stubborn, and then I went through a period where I was like, in her eyes, a lot better than I am now in terms of being a husband into this new role. And you know, she has a hard time dealing with certain aspects of it.
Mhm.
But I mean, we try and make it work. Like you know, the COVID thing sucked, right? But it was good because I've been home for a long time, which I'm rarely am. We, you know, the first couple of weeks of it, we sat and watched movies on Comcast and whatever, and you know, we watched Tiger King, which everyone else watches, and yes, Carol Baskins probably did kill her first husband. I believe that, but you know, we bonded. She's like, I didn't hear you talking about greater veterans as much, and then she's like, is your passion still there? And I said, of course it's there, but I don't know how it's going to be because we've always relied on live events when this is over. If everyone's going to be weird about it, you know, I have no idea how the United States is going to be united after this. And I don't know.
Do you think so? I mean, you don't know how you're going to adjust with, you know, greater veterans, but do you think the COVID has kind of maybe changed your mindset or changed actions that you'll have with your wife, things that maybe you just thought about didn't matter, but now you see they do, like sitting and watching a show? Or you think there'll be a little, like in your relationship, a little change?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because both of us, you know, we almost work opposite of each other to a certain degree, and you know, that part of it's tough. But I mean, I've had a lot of events. I don't know if you caught all of them, but like later in winter, say, so January, February, sorry, I slipped on my stairs outside that are concrete and hit the back of my head and was
Wow, I did miss
real.
that.
Yeah, it was scary. I was real close to death and blacking out because I was wearing shorts and flip flops. And well, I
He
mean,
lives in Washington State.
yeah.
So lesson learned, everybody. Flip flops, no good during that
Well,
time.
I'm good in the cold. That wasn't the issue. The issue was, again, and this comes down to listening to your wife. So all you ladies out there, some of us should listen to you more. But I thought we had de-icer still, and I didn't think it was going to get that cold. So yes, we were out, and yes, I was wrong. And that's what caused it. I was blacking out. I was in a very dangerous spot. She wouldn't have got up for about another 5 hours normally, so I would have froze to death. And my shepherd luckily pulled up my clothes and licked and barked at me till I stood up. And when I got inside and de-thawed a little bit, it hit me that I was concussed because I've had several others. And I drove to the VA and told them I drove between the 4 lanes. There's only two, one in each direction. And they sent me up. And yeah, they said, you got a concussion again. Congrats. So certain parts of my brain work a little bit different now, so to speak. I mean, I have a lot more memory loss than I did before, but I'm fine. So who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to my world, or in everybody, a lot of other people's world. There's some pros and cons to that. Um, but this is a question I ask everybody when we're closing. What does love look like to you right now in this moment? Not throughout your whole life or what you want it to be, but in this moment, as you sit here talking, what does love mean, look, feel like for you, for Nick Richardson?
So I think love is not only loving, not to reuse the word, and respecting the other person in the relationship, because I assume that's what you're talking about, hopefully.
It could be anything. Just
But,
your first answer.
but in a general term towards everybody else in your life, friends, family, people you respect, it means being who you are, being authentic, being brutally honest, which obviously I don't have a problem with. But and compromise, I think, is a key to life in general. I think, there's going to be days where you don't want to do something, but you find a reason to do it, or doing it for somebody else. Like, I don't love my current job, but I get up and do it because I want my wife and kids to have nice things. I, kind of have like when I served, if not me, then who sort of mentality. And, hopefully one day I'll be out of there. But until then, I got to smile, grin, and bear it, as they say. So that's part of it too, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for sharing who you are, and everybody. Click on his name, click on Greater Veterans. Just, you can dig in deeper. He will answer you, which I love. If you have questions or how you can support or what events are going to be coming up after all of this crap is all over. And Nick, keep doing what you do. Keep being you, and give your wife a hug over here from the East Coast to her. And just thank you for you.
Can I say too, and I'll do all that. Can I say two quick things before we close?
Absolutely.
First of all, my dad's been a truck driver longer than I've been alive. So I want to say thank you to the truck drivers, the grocery store workers, the nurses, the people in leadership roles that are in tough positions right now. So thank you to those people. Hopefully they make the right decisions. And also on the next event thing. So I just want to say it here so they hear me say it. Farm Jam in Colville, Washington, Labor Day weekend. They're announcing the headliner on the 11th of next month, so I can't say who it is, but it's a veteran. It's a friend of mine, somebody that's played the Grand Ole Opry, and I can message you later. But if you use code VET33, that gets you 33% off. And hopefully by then we'll be normal, because I want to go outside and enjoy some music and crack some beers. So
you and me both. So too bad I don't live closer to you. I'm always like, dang, I wish I could like transport myself.
Maybe we'll use one of those flight credits. Who knows?
There we go. Who knows? All right. Well, thank you. And until next time, everybody, love hard, love pure, and we will see you.
All right. Take care.